Welcome back to Showcase. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers 1 Highguard, Soundwave, Shockwave, and Starscream. But before we get started, big thanks to Toxic Afghani for requesting this video. If you have any videos you'd like me to make, leave it down in the comments, I'll try to get to all of them. Starting with their weapons, Soundwave's chest can open up, Shockwave has his hand cannon and an energy cell that can fold in, and Starscream has his null rays. Moving on to transformation, starting with Starscream, lay him flat, bring the head in, move the arms into place, bring the legs up, bring the cockpit out, unfold it, bring out the nose cone, move it into place, bring the back of the jet out, unfold the wings, and we have Starscream in its Tetrajet mode. Next up, Shockwave. Lay him flat, bring the head in, bring the front arm up and the back arm down, move the legs up, bring the cockpit out, and we have Shockwave in his gunship mode. Next up, Soundwave. Lay him flat, head in, arms into place, legs into place, bring the cockpit out, and we have Soundwave in his ship mode. Now moving on to the lore I've written for them in my series, Siege World. This episode is a bit of a continuation of the lore in my 07 Autobots and animated Shockwave videos, so I'd recommend checking those out first, and they'll be linked in the description. All of these guys are from the same era, but they didn't meet for a while, so we're going to start by looking at them separately. Starscream was constructed cold using a generic military body. He fought against the Autobots during the short-lived revolution of his time, and after the revolution was crushed by the Autobot Council, he and many other revolutionaries went into hiding. Eventually, the Decepticons returned, starting the Second Great War, and Starscream, along with many other former revolutionaries, joined them. Soundwave was forged not long before the First Great War. He joined the Decepticons and was with them when they were exiled to one of Cybertron's moons. While in exile, he worked his way up the ranks until he became one of the highest-ranking Decepticons. This is where he would meet Shockwave. This Shockwave was one of the many clones of the original. His purpose was to work his way up through the Decepticons and eventually attempt to take control of them. And by the time he met Soundwave, he'd already become one of their highest-ranking members. It was Shockwave's idea to use the ongoing unrest on Cybertron at their advantage, by manipulating constructed cold bots into starting a revolution. And it would also be Shockwave's idea to abandon those same revolutionaries once the uprising began to fail. At this time, the Decepticons were being led by Galvatron, and it was under his orders they started the Second Great War. And he placed Starscream in charge of the former revolutionaries who now joined them. The Decepticons were successful in the war for a time, but Galvatron's leadership led to several battles being lost that should have been easy wins. Shockwave saw an opportunity and killed Galvatron. He then planted evidence that Starscream had done it. Shockwave had planned for it to be simple. He'd kill Starscream, take control of the Decepticons, and crush the Autobots, but Starscream's forces proved more loyal than expected. Because of that, the Decepticons splintered, and a civil war began. Soundwave initially said it was Shockwave, but while performing a surprise inspection of a base, he encountered another one of Shockwave's clones. After scanning it and seeing it was almost an exact match to the Shockwave he knew, he slowly began putting things together. But Shockwave was one step ahead. He killed Soundwave, but in the process, Soundwave exposed Shockwave's deception. This caused the Decepticons to splinter even further, with different bases and units claiming that their leader was the true leader of the Decepticons. Many battles followed, but eventually, Shockwave would be killed by Terradive, one of Soundwave's closest friends. Starscream survived most of the war, and even managed to take over the Decepticon army, but right after, his second-in-command Redwing stabbed him in the neck. Redwing would lead the Decepticons for a time, and even make an uneasy peace with the Autobots, but that's a story for another day. On Siege World, Soundwave would eventually reunite with other Decepticon forces and create a small settlement. They aren't openly hostile to the Autobots, but they won't allow them anywhere near their settlement either. Shockwave would take shelter in one of Siege World's many destroyed cities, waiting until he could make contact with the original Shockwave and receive new orders. And Starscream joined up with a group of raiders operating out of a mountainous area along a major trade route. And that's the Transformers 1 Highguard. Soundwave and Shockwave don't have recolors yet, and I'm not sure if they'll end up getting any. And Starscream's been recolored into almost every name seeker in Transformers 1, but there's still a couple background ones I'm going to get to at some point. Next time, as a little early celebration of Beast Wars' 30th anniversary, we're going to be taking a look at Razorbeast and Iguanus, so stay tuned.